The war is spreading from Moscow to the Black Sea. Russia unleashed bombs, missiles, and another deadly attack on civilian shipping. Ukraine answered with 400 drones, said it struck deep inside the Russian capital. The battlefield is expanding, and so is the cost. The Russia-Ukraine war has entered another intense phase, with both sides launching fresh long-range strikes targeting critical infrastructure, logistics hubs, and civilian areas. Overnight on July 19th, Ukrainian forces launched one of their largest drone attacks on Russia's Moscow Oblast, reportedly targeting an oil depot, logistics facilities, and warehouses. Photos and videos circulating on social media showed thick black smoke rising over Podolsk, around 40 kilometers south of the Kremlin, following a reported strike on an oil depot. Fires were also reported at a Wildberries logistics center in Koledino, another logistics park in Domodedovo, and warehouses at the Yuzhny Vorota industrial complex. Russian authorities said the assault involved hundreds of drones.
More than 400 drones approached the Moscow region between 8:30 p.m. Sunday and 5 a.m. Monday. Most were intercepted before reaching the capital, with 85 drones shot down on their final approach to Moscow.
As Ukraine expanded its long-range drone campaign deep inside Russia, Moscow continued its own bombardment across Ukraine. On the evening of July 19th, Russian forces launched glide bomb attacks on the southeastern Ukrainian city of Zaporizhzhia, killing 2 people and injuring 42 others. The bombs struck 5-story and 9-story residential buildings, destroying 2 floors of one apartment block and heavily damaging surrounding buildings.
The glide bomb struck a 5-story and a 9-story residential building in the city. The attack destroyed 2 floors in the 5-story building, as well as windows and balconies in the other. A logistics terminal was struck in the city.
Hours later, Ukraine accused Russia of attacking civilian shipping in the Black Sea. According to Ukraine's Navy and the Foreign Ministry, a civilian cargo vessel carrying grain through Ukraine's maritime corridor was struck by 3 Russian Kh-59 and Kh-69 cruise missiles on July 19th. The Golden Leo, sailing under the Guinea-Bissau flag and owned by a Turkish company, caught fire after missiles hit the ship's superstructure. Ukrainian authorities said 5 people were killed, 8 crew members were rescued, while 5 others remain missing. Ukraine's Navy accused Russia of deliberately targeting an unarmed civilian vessel and described the strike as an attack on international maritime navigation. This is another targeted Russian attack on an unarmed civilian vessel flying a foreign flag that posed no military threat. The attack is an act of terror against peaceful navigation and a gross violation of international humanitarian law. Ukraine's acting foreign minister Andriy Sybiha also condemned the attack. While the world is still responding to Russia's brutal overnight attack on Kyiv, Moscow continues its campaign of terror throughout the day. Russia has now struck a civilian vessel navigating Ukraine's maritime corridor. The crew included citizens of Syria and India. A Ukrainian maritime pilot was killed, as well as 4 crew members. 8 crew members were evacuated, and 5 still remain missing. Ukraine's foreign ministry said it has begun notifying the International Maritime Organization, partner governments, and the countries whose nationals were affected. Russia and Ukraine exchanged another wave of large-scale strikes overnight, with both sides reporting attacks on key military, energy, and logistics infrastructure as the war entered another dangerous phase. According to Ukrainian officials on July 19th, Russian missiles and drones struck Kyiv and the surrounding region overnight, killing at least 1 person and injuring several others. Fires broke out at a dormitory, a residential building, supermarkets, warehouses, and other facilities across the capital, while Ukraine's Air Force warned of a sustained ballistic missile attack. In a post on X, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said Russia had carried out one of its largest recent attacks on the capital.
Overnight, Russia carried out one of its largest ballistic missile attacks on Kyiv. The enemy launched more than 40 missiles of various types, most of them against the capital, and 120 attack drones.
Zelensky said emergency crews were responding at multiple locations, with nearly 600 rescuers deployed. He added that the latest assault was part of a much broader Russian campaign carried out over the past week.
In total, over the course of this week, Russia has used around 1,450 attack drones, more than 1,640 guided aerial bombs, and 99 missiles of various types against Ukraine. People were injured in the Odessa region and Zaporizhzhia, and there was damage in the Sumy and Chernihiv regions.
The Ukrainian president also renewed calls for faster military assistance from Western allies, stressing the urgent need for stronger air defense capabilities.
Protection against ballistic missiles is our constant and top priority right now. Interceptors are needed every day, and I am grateful to everyone who takes our agreements seriously and ensures the delivery of anti-ballistic capabilities.
Meanwhile, Russia's defense ministry, in a statement on July 19th, said its overnight operations specifically targeted Ukrainian military infrastructure rather than civilian sites.
The operation also targeted infrastructure at the port of Yuzhny in Odessa region that was being used to receive and store military cargo and fuel supplies intended to support Ukrainian forces. High-precision air and ground-launched weapons and attack drones also targeted Ukrainian military-industrial facilities and logistics hubs in Kyiv and the surrounding region. We targeted only military and dual-use installations in response to Ukraine's indiscriminate terrorist attacks.
Ukrainian emergency services said helicopters and more than 200 emergency workers battled a massive warehouse fire near Kyiv on July 19th after a Russian overnight attack. The blaze, which was brought under control but was still being extinguished, engulfed 2 warehouse buildings covering about 100,000 square meters, with 3 helicopters deployed to drop water on the flames and thick black smoke rising over the site. As Russia pressed its missile campaign, Ukraine also expanded its long-range drone operations inside Russian territory. According to Russian regional authorities and independent monitoring channels, Ukrainian drones struck energy infrastructure in Stavropol Krai, igniting fires at oil storage facilities, while additional strikes targeted the occupied Crimean Peninsula. Earlier, on July 18th, another wave of Ukrainian drone attacks hit Russia's Moscow region, where regional governor Andrei Vorobyov said 7 warehouse workers were killed and dozens injured after a strike on a Wildberries logistics warehouse in Elektrostal. Separate drone attacks also sparked a fire at an oil depot in the wider Moscow region. The latest exchange of missile and drone attacks underscores the continuing escalation in the conflict, with both Moscow and Kyiv increasingly targeting each other's logistics, energy infrastructure, and strategic facilities far beyond the front lines.